Onboarding will reduce churn. Inside of this video, I'm going to be covering the two main things related to onboarding. The first is the goals and the benefits, and the second is the process. So starting off, the first thing we want to do is help the people who join your community navigate your community. You want to help them understand how everything works. Not everybody knows how Skool works. You want to make sure that they understand this as fast as possible. Them not knowing how your product on Skool works is one of the biggest reasons for month 1 churn. And if you would like to know what the other main things are, the first is that you have a false offer, so the offer doesn't match the product that's inside, and the second is low value inside of the community. Now you want to get them started ASAP. Once they join, they will feel hype. You have 10 to 30 minutes to capitalize on that hype, so get them onboarded in that time. You want to decrease overwhelm and give them an action plan to follow for those minutes. The next thing that you want to do is get them engaged, and this is so that you can decrease your later days churn. And if you want to get them engaged, the longer it takes for them to make their first post or for them to start posting consistently, the harder it gets. You want to make it worth it for them to post and comment. You really need to get them active inside of your community. Something important I'd like to mention with this is that you have to pay attention to desperation engagement. If somebody makes a post and they have a problem and they really desperately want to get it fixed, so they make their post about their problem right after joining, that's fine. Provide a resource for them. But if it's weeks in and they still have this problem, then you have to help them solve that problem. And you have to make sure that your community is engaged enough to also help that person solve that problem. Now, if this problem is persistent among all members, then you have a resource problem inside of your community. This is very common with make money communities, but it can be common with other ones too. If you have a resource problem, that means that your customers are facing some sort of a struggle and you haven't helped them to get rid of that struggle. So then you have to urgently fix that resource problem, because otherwise you will experience major churn. So what does this look like in practice? Starting off, we have to look at the sales page. Many people don't know Skool, so they don't know what happens when they join. So you can use this copy on your sales page to get them onboarded even before they buy the product. So what happens when you join? Instant access to everything. Then once they're inside, you want to have an auto DM sent to them. Now this is a premium feature on Skool. This is for the $100 plan. And an auto DM which you send them looks something like this. Welcome, person. Click this link to get started. See you inside. Now what does the link point to? It points to your onboarding post. Something else I'd like to mention. Keep your DM short. This doesn't have to be long. This is just pointing them towards the onboarding post. So what does your onboarding post look like? Your title is something like click here to get started. Welcome. Then you want to show the key features and give your customers a roadmap that they should take once they join your community. So your text is something like, here is where you find everything. Then you link the classroom, the community, the calendar, and the map if you have one. And so this is your step-by-step plan to get them to start engaging with your community. So you tell them to make their first post. And inside of this post, there are 3 things that they have to answer. Why are they inside of this community? What is their story? And they have to describe themselves in 3 words. Then you want to tell them to comment a GIF before they start. So have them comment a GIF on your post. This is so the barrier between making contact with the others is lowered. And then once you are done with that, go to this. So you want to link them to a specific section inside of your classroom page. And inside of this section, you have an action step for them. And I'll be showing you what that action step is right now. Then once they're on that page, you want to have some sort of an audit or a tracker or a combination of them. So if you have a gaming community, for example, you can ask them, what is your KD? What are your aim lab stats? What is your win percentage? What is your win amount? And then give us a picture of your favorite skin. Now this is so you can run them through a process of seeing their improvement over the course of time. So you want to have one for when they join, one for 7 days, 30 days, 90 days, 120 days, and 240 days. And then get creative. Don't use a Word document to make this. You can use Canva for illustration, and this is an example of what something like that could look like. So a simple resource like this, which has all the questions, and then asking them to put in their favorite skin. Then you want to tell them to post that inside of the community at every timestamp. And you want to create a separate category for this. So just create a category for your audit and your tracker. The goal for sharing this should be social connection. Because imagine your community and imagine having something like that in there. People will start to react to each other because of the things they said inside. For example, if somebody has a KD of 0.8 and another person has a KD of 0.8, then maybe they will react to each other and start talking to each other, start getting to know each other inside of your community. And then the picture of their favorite skin, it just has to be something personal. So something that other people can comment on, something that they can react on and talk to each other about. And then if you want to get a good community flow going to decrease your churn later down the road, you want to have them engage in an event or a challenge. I have made a video about events before, I will link that below. But let's do a challenge, which is a shorter version of an event. So, post a clip of you hitting a trick shot. This could be for the gaming community. Then, the most liked post gets a reward. Now you have to get creative with what rewards you share with them. Doing something like this will make it so people will feel the need to engage with your community and with each other. Especially if it's a gaming community, some competition might actually do really well. So that is your full onboarding guide. If this video was helpful, then consider liking and subscribing. And if you're a content creator and you want me to help you in creating and scaling an info product, or you just want to know why I make these videos, then click the first link in the description.